Welcome to part 1B of my Anakin Skywalker Character Analysis. If you haven't seen part 1A yet, then I highly encourage you to do so. I'll throw up the title card and place a link in the description to it. In today's video, I'll continue my case for Anakin as the greatest Star Wars character, looking at his role in Episode 1. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I'm in the Boonta race tomorrow. What? With this?
The world, like his peers, have always doubted him. However, he never lets that stop him from doing what he wants. So Anakin charges forward in testing his pod racer with the confidence that it will succeed.
It's working! It's working!
Anakin here shows in this small victory the passion that he has in what he does. He loves to build things, fix them, make them work, pilot, and most importantly, help others. And in this one moment, he gets to do them all with a simple flip of a switch. It's a moment where he gets to feel true joy even in this dark world he lives in.
Has anyone been to them all?
Not likely.
I want to be the first one to see them all.
Again, Anakin is motivated by his dreams and aspirations, the thing that gives him life in a situation where it could be easy to give in and have a pessimistic attitude. This also shows his general sense of adventure. He would do anything to get off this rock and have a life of greater purpose.
The reading is off the chart. Over 20,000.
Even Master Yoda doesn't have a midichlorian count that high.
No Jedi has.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure.
Anakin's potential is something that is unheard of to those like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. This great power, of course, alludes to the great responsibility that comes with it. As in the right hands, it can be used for infinite good. However, in the wrong hands, it could lead to unspeakable evil. Either way, the pressure is on Anakin, as his actions would be put under a microscope because of it. And with this in mind, Qui-Gon would take a gamble and bet on Anakin, trusting in the will of the Force and believing in this boy and the good he could do for others, all starting with the Boonta Eve pod race.
I'll wager my new racing pod against the boy and his mother.
No pod is worth 2 slaves, not by a long shot.
The boy then.
Anakin has intrigued Qui-Gon so much that he's willing to bet it all on him, to the point that it's detouring in his mission just to free Anakin, understanding his importance. For Anakin, this is important as it shows the impact that he has on other characters' actions, even when he's not in the scene. Even having Qui-Gon fix the chance cube to ensure that he has a chance at freeing him, just to teach him the ways of the Force. This also heightens the stakes of the upcoming race, as he's not only competing for their lives, but his own freedom as well.
What do you mean by that?
I'll tell you later.
Anakin has no idea what Watto means by this, so it simply further raises his already established suspicion and intrigue of the mysterious Jedi Knight.
You've never won a race?
Not exactly.
Not even finished?
Kitster's right, I will this time.
Of course you will.
Padme has every right to be skeptical here, as they're all placing their fate on a boy who has a beyond suspect or questionable record as a racer. Despite this, Anakin shows his confidence and optimism here yet again, as he truly believes that he can and will win this race. Because he's doing it for others, it almost feels like that gives him more strength and confidence to do so going forward, especially coupled with the reassurance he would get from Qui-Gon. The stage is set as Anakin is making final preparations for the Boonta Eve Classic, a simple 3-lap race where everyone's fate is resting in his hands.
Be safe.
I will not. I promise.
Again, the race is dangerous, one that brings out the fear in everyone, particularly his mother, but Anakin assures her that everything will be alright, even if he may have doubts, insecurities, or fears as he enters the race. Unfortunately, unlike Shmi, not everyone has Anakin's best interest at heart, as Sebulba tries to sabotage Anakin, sneakily messing with his pod racer. This highlighting the difference between the two, where Sebulba is one to win at any cost, no matter how dirty his play becomes or who gets hurt in the process, and Anakin is the opposite, one to race with honor, relying solely on his skill, doing his best to minimize casualties. Part of that shows the difference in their respective confidence, as Sebulba sees others like Anakin as a threat, so he chooses to cheat because he lacks the ability to consistently win on simply his own merit and skills as a pilot. It's fitting that the two are placed as each other's antagonists for the race, as Sebulba juxtaposes everything that Anakin is about. Sebulba is a free man that chooses to bully others like Anakin or Jar Jar, people that he believes or perceives are vulnerable, weak, or beneath him. where Anakin is a slave that despite his situation chooses to help others and protect them from the bullies of the world. Sebulba enters the race out of greed, only trying to win for his own benefit, and Anakin wants to, as Qui-Gon says, give without any thought of reward. And a nice bit of trash talk before the race solidifies the rivalry between the two.
You scrawny dough pot, Slimo.
As Anakin not only winning, but beating Sebulba specifically, would mean something on a personal level, almost as if it was to prove a point and strike back at those that think they're better than him. In the final moments before the race, Anakin would be a bit emotionally charged, coming off the heels of feeling the fear from his mother and the anger he holds towards Sebulba. But to help him center himself, Qui-Gon would grant him with words of wisdom to help him find a place mentally where he could be at calm and at peace.
Concentrate on the moment. Feel. Don't think. Use your instincts.
I will.
May the Force be with you.
So far, Anakin has been the one to help Qui-Gon out, and now he returns the favor, being a fatherly sage that helps guide him on this race. It's here that Anakin begins to see Qui-Gon as that father or mentor figure, a strong presence that can help him in his journey of growth, one that will help him calm his mind. Like Qui-Gon's advice per usual, he advises to be in the moment above all else, to not focus on things that you can't control, and to trust your gut. As Anakin has a good head on his shoulders, so his natural instincts are all he needs. He spent his whole life preparing for this moment, so he just needs to go out there and do it, letting the chips fall where they may. So the race begins and Anakin is off to a rough start as his pod immediately stalls. This similar to the start of his own life, as he was dealt a terrible hand. But in the same way he chooses to not let that be an excuse, he finds a way to better his situation, both in the race and in life. Throughout the race, Anakin displays his incredible skills, providing context to the praise that Obi-Wan would give years later when reminiscing on his best friend, as at the young age of 9 he already displays skills beyond his years to maneuver his way around the other contestants, also showing his expertise and intelligence as an engineer as he constructed a pod that was considerably faster than all his opponents on his own. The small size of the pod also highlights him as the underdog, especially when compared to Sebulba's. It may make it a bit more susceptible to damage when taking a hit, but with the right pilot, its nimble ways can be utilized to easily get ahead of the competition. Anakin also shows his ability to think on his feet, as time and time again he's put in a terrible situation, but he perseveres, never giving up and always keeping a calm mind. When he spins out of control, he levels himself and he uses his tools to reconnect himself and become whole again. There's a metaphor there somewhere. It's fitting that the third and final lap is just between Anakin and Sebulba, as the race becomes a personal duel or confrontation between the two. Of course, the switch that Sebulba flipped becomes an issue in this final lap, as it causes Anakin to lose power in one of his engines, and again he must be quick and come up with a plan. Luckily, as mentioned before, Anakin is a man, or boy, of action, never hesitating and choosing to go with his instincts as Qui-Gon says, rerouting some of the power from his other engine to the one that's failing. Whether life or others directly choose to negatively impact him, he always perseveres. In the final stretch, Anakin and Sebulba get tied up, and Anakin is able to break free from his grasp, where fittingly Sebulba's dirty tactics finally catch up to him and he loses his pod and the race in one swift stroke. Anakin wins with honor. He played a clean game and raced for the right reasons. He fights for his friends and in doing so, wins the parts for the team and wins his own freedom. And in this moment, Qui-Gon raises him on his shoulders and he gets to feel the freest he ever has in his life as he's living his dream, being the best star pilot in the galaxy and simply helping his friends. So everyone chants and celebrates the hero of the Boonta Eve Classic as he ends Sebulba's reign as a champion.
We owe you everything, Annie.
It's so wonderful, Annie. You have brought hope to those who have none.
It's here that Shmi reminds Anakin the true impact that he has. As a slave from the simple desert planet, he defied all odds and showed everyone that anyone can be victorious as long as you put your mind to it. And in doing so, he's become a beacon of hope to others that had none before. A hero and a tale that others can get behind.
He has been freed.
What?
You're no longer a slave.
Did you hear that?
Now you can make your dreams come true, Annie. You're free.
Words that almost feel unreal to hear. Anakin learns about his freedom and he's overwhelmed with joy. He's finally accomplished his lifelong goal and he can go on to do everything he's ever dreamed of.
Will you take him with you? Is he to become a Jedi?
Yes. Our meeting was not a coincidence. Nothing happens by accident. Anakin, training to become a Jedi is not an easy challenge. And even if you succeed, it's a hard life.
But I want to go. It's what I've always dreamed of doing.
Fate truly seems to be on Anakin's side, as the ideal master for him has stumbled upon his doorstep and offers him the very thing he's always wanted. Unfortunately, like many things in life, they come at a cost. Not only would he have to leave his family behind, but the path to becoming a Jedi is not for everyone, as he would be put to the test in ways that would truly challenge his character.
Can I go, Mom?
Anakin, this path has been placed before you. The choice is yours alone.
I want to do it.
Anakin has made a choice. He seeks approval from his mother, but he truly is on his own, as he chooses to fly from the nest. This is a first in Anakin's life, as he's always been limited in what he could do, but now, he has the ability to make the change he wants to see in the world, and live by his mother's ideals.
Then pack your things. I haven't much time.
Yippee! What about Mom? Is she free too?
I tried to free your mother, Annie, but Water wouldn't have it.
You're coming with us, aren't you, Mom?
Son, my place is here. My future is here. It is time for you to let go.
I don't want things to change.
But you can't stop the change, any more than you can stop the suns from setting.
The consequences finally set in, as Anakin begins to realize that his mother can't go with him. Anakin's love for his mother is strong, and the same way that she's protected him, he wants to do the same for her. But Anakin must learn a valuable lesson in learning to let go, as this attachment would be the crux of Anakin's fall to the dark side. Like Shmi states, change is inevitable, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. Even with all the power that the universe has to offer him, it's unavoidable. So, like his son would do, he has to allow the sun to set on the life that he once knew and embrace the birth of this new life that he will embark on.
I'll make sure Mom doesn't sell you or anything.
Sell me?
Bye.
If only Anakin had the same kind of attachment to 3PO. When Anakin begins to leave his home, it then dawns on him that this would be the final time that he would do so, and he turns to have one final conversation with his mother.
I can't do it, Mom. I just can't do it. Will I ever see you again?
What does your heart tell you?
I hope so. Yes, I guess.
That we will see each other again.
The confident boy we were accustomed to seeing shows his fear and vulnerability, as it's scary to begin a journey like this, where he must separate himself from the one person that's ever loved him, someone that's guided him and seemed to have all the answers in life. So Shmi gives him the reassurance that if you want something to happen, it will, as Anakin is the type of person to make his dreams a reality.
I will come back and free you, Mom. I promise.
Now, be brave and don't look back.
Words that Anakin would do his best to live by, as freeing his mother is just as important, if not more so, as freeing himself was, as imagining a life without her is not quite the same. So he heeds his mother's words and continues on without looking back, encouraging the idea of showing no fear, hesitations, or regret in his decisions, as he would truly need to be brave to take these next steps, as he's full of fear in this moment of the unknown, attached to his mother and the weight of the world on his shoulders. There's a definite rhyme to how Luke left and Anakin did. For Luke, it was a lot more of a positive or cathartic departure, as after he lost his family, there was nothing left to keep him there or drag him down so he could look on with eyes forward with no issue. For Anakin, it's bittersweet that he gets to go on this adventure to learn the ways of the Force and become a Jedi, but he's leaving behind a bit of his heart, as Anakin's faith is always in his friends and loved ones, so to lose or walk away from one of them is to lose a bit of himself. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I had a ton of fun making this video, so if you enjoyed it too, then I highly suggest liking the video, and if you want to see more like it, then definitely hit subscribe. And if you want to be notified when part 2 comes out, then hit the bell for notifications, or consider checking out my Patreon, where I'll be uploading videos there significantly sooner than on YouTube. So part 2 should be there available as I speak, and the same will apply to the next parts when they come out. And on that note, I want to give a shout out to my patrons. Your support means everything to me. And finally, Let me know in the comments which Star Wars character has the greatest control over their destiny and why. And who knows, they might be in the next one. Until next time, try spinning. It's a good trick.